Three people, on three different continents, had one problem in common. They wanted to speak English like a native. Alex in London thought ChatGPT was just a search box. Priya in Mumbai didn't think AI could understand her accent. And James in New York, he was sure no robot could hold a real conversation. But then, they each discovered a secret. You can talk to ChatGPT like it's a real person. And when you do, it changes everything. In this story, you'll follow them from awkward texting a robot to fluent, confident English, and the one conversation that will change the way you talk forever. If you're ready to make English your superpower, start your first real conversation with ChatGPT today. And hey, if this story gave you an idea, share it with a friend who's learning too. Like it so more learners can find it, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story that could change the way you speak forever. It was a cloudy Tuesday morning in London, the kind where the sky feels heavy and the air tastes faintly of rain. Alex sat hunched at his small desk, the kind that had once been meant for writing letters, but now held only a laptop, a cold mug of tea, and the quiet weight of his frustration. He stared at the open ChatGPT window, its blank text box blinking at him like it was waiting for something clever. He rubbed his forehead, wondering what exactly he was supposed to type. Do I just say hello? Or do I give it commands? His voice was barely above a whisper. He typed, "Teach me English vocabulary." A neat, polite answer appeared on the screen almost instantly. Alex sighed, leaning back in his chair. Feels like I'm talking to a dictionary, not a person. He closed the tab and pushed the laptop away, the taste of stale tea lingering on his tongue. Thousands of miles away, in the noisy heartbeat of Mumbai, Priya was leaning against the cool metal wall of a commuter train, her phone gripped in one hand, the other clutching the strap above her head. She had 10 minutes until her stop, 10 minutes to try something she wasn't sure she even believed in. She'd seen people on YouTube saying ChatGPT could talk like a human, but she was skeptical. My accent, my style, will AI even understand me? She thought. She typed, "Can you help me speak like in the movies?" The reply appeared quickly, formal, correct, but stiff. No slang, no rhythm, no spark. Priya shook her head. "See? Just a robot." The train screeched as it pulled into her stop, and she slipped the phone back into her bag, letting the thought drift away with the crowd. Across the Atlantic, in a coffee shop in New York, James sat at a corner table, a cappuccino cooling beside his laptop. He was a freelance copywriter, someone who loved ideas and stories but loathed the rules of grammar. He'd heard colleagues talk about ChatGPT for writing emails and fixing typos, but he couldn't imagine having an actual conversation with it. He typed, "Tell me how to sound professional in English." The response was accurate, polished, and completely lifeless. James smirked. "Yeah, no soul in there." He closed the window and returned to scrolling through job listings. For the next few days, life moved on. Alex commuted to work under the same gray skies. Priya battled traffic and deadlines. James sent pitches and hoped for replies. None of them knew their opinion of ChatGPT was about to change, not because the technology would suddenly improve, but because of one small shift in how they used it. Alex's turning point came late one night. He couldn't sleep and ended up watching a live stream from an American teacher who was explaining how she used ChatGPT with her students. At one point, she said something that made him sit up straighter. You have to talk to it like it's a person sitting right in front of you, she said, tapping her desk for emphasis. Don't just command it, chat with it. The next morning, Alex made tea, opened his laptop, and typed something different. Hey, imagine you're my funny British friend and we're chatting about food. Correct my sentences when I make mistakes. Almost instantly, the screen came alive. All right, mate. What's for breakfast today, then? Alex's lips curled into a smile. This was different. He typed back, I having toast and egg. You mean, I'm having toast and eggs, but that sounds tasty. Got any beans with it? Alex laughed, actually laughed, at his screen. For the first time, it didn't feel like a cold, mechanical exchange. It felt like banter. In Mumbai, Priya's moment happened when she stumbled into an online forum during her lunch break. People were sharing their ChatGPT personalities, versions of the AI they'd shaped into teachers, friends, travel guides. One post caught her attention. I made ChatGPT my travel buddy, and it taught me better English in a week than my classes did in months. That evening, on her commute home, Priya opened the app and typed, Pretend you're my travel partner on a train to Delhi. Speak in casual English. Help me learn new expressions. The reply came back warm and playful. All right, window seat or aisle? Oh, and by the way, if you say dibs on the window seat, it means you claimed it first. Priya grinned. It feels human. She typed back quickly, the hum of the train blending with the hum of her excitement. James's change of heart began with a video about prompt engineering. The creator said, the trick is to give ChatGPT a role and a vibe, not just instructions. You shape the personality. Intrigued, James reopened the app and typed, You're my witty American uncle who loves sports. Chat with me about basketball but correct my grammar like a sneaky coach. The reply made him laugh so hard, he nearly spilled his coffee. Kid, your grammar is about as messy as my jump shot in '86. But let's fix that while we talk Knicks. Over the following days, all three of them began using ChatGPT differently. Alex treated it like a mate down at the pub. Priya made it her commute companion, role-playing everyday scenarios. James turned it into a game. If he made a grammar mistake, ChatGPT would roast him, and he'd have to redeem himself by correcting it. Their English improved. But something else happened too. They became more confident. Words stopped feeling like obstacles and started feeling like tools they could play with. One rainy evening, Alex joined a video call with friends from Canada and Australia. Halfway through, someone said, Wow, Alex, your English sounds so natural now. What's your secret? Alex smirked. Just been talking to a mate, who's not exactly human. In Mumbai, Priya stood in a conference room, giving a presentation to a foreign client. She dropped in phrases she'd learned from ChatGPT. Cut to the chase, right off the bat. And the client smiled, impressed by her conversational tone. In New York, James closed his laptop with a satisfied grin. He'd just landed a freelance job with a UK company because he could match their casual yet professional style perfectly. None of them had met. None of them knew their journeys were running in parallel, but each of them had stumbled onto the same truth. ChatGPT could be more than a tool, if you treated it like a person. The secret wasn't in the AI's programming. It was in how they approached it. Give it a role. Give it a personality. Make the conversation real. Let corrections happen naturally inside the flow. Alex was starting to look forward to his morning chats more than his actual breakfast. Every day, he'd give ChatGPT a slightly different role: a sarcastic London cab driver, a history teacher who loved gossip, even a football commentator. Each time, the conversation flowed differently, and each time, he picked up phrases he'd never heard before. One morning, he made a deliberate mistake. "I has never been to Scotland." "You mean, I have never been to Scotland. But you should go, mate. Gorgeous mountains, and better whiskey than you've had in your life." It didn't feel like a correction. It felt like a friend giving advice. In Mumbai, Priya's role plays had grown more creative. She wasn't just traveling with ChatGPT anymore. She was shopping at a market, ordering food at a street stall, even bargaining for a better price. Each time she made a grammar slip, the AI would slide in a casual fix, wrapped inside the conversation. "Can I has 2 samosas?" she typed on purpose. "Can I have 2 samosas?" you'd say. "And yes, I'll take one too. Extra chutney, please." The learning felt effortless. She found herself using these corrected sentences automatically in real life without having to stop and think. James, meanwhile, had turned his grammar game into a kind of personal challenge. He started writing mini-stories to his uncle character, deliberately sneaking in mistakes to see if ChatGPT could spot them all. But somewhere along the way, the mistakes got harder to find. "Not bad, kid," his virtual uncle said one day. "I had to read that twice to catch a tiny slip. You're getting dangerous." The three of them, still strangers to one another, were quietly building something powerful: confidence. And confidence has a way of attracting opportunities. Alex was invited to join an international work project with colleagues from Canada, India, and South Africa. In their first meeting, he spoke without hesitation, slipping in a bit of slang that made everyone laugh. Priya found herself leading client calls with American partners, something she'd avoided before. Now, her words carried both clarity and warmth, and clients commented on how easy she was to talk to. James started landing more gigs from overseas clients who praised his cultural ear, the ability to match tone and style to different audiences. But success brings new challenges. Alex realized he was comfortable with casual English, but formal situations still made him nervous. Priya noticed she could handle conversations, but struggled when writing long professional emails. James discovered he was great at friendly banter, but froze when he had to present ideas verbally without notes. One by one, they went back to their AI companion, not to start over, but to level up. Alex typed, "Be my formal speaking coach. Teach me how to sound confident in meetings without sounding stiff." Priya typed, "Help me write professional emails that sound warm but clear. Pretend you're my editor and mentor." James typed, "You're my presentation coach. Make me practice answering questions out loud. Correct me gently but keep it fun." And ChatGPT adapted, shifting tone, vocabulary, and style like a chameleon. Slowly, the three strangers were each building a full spectrum of English skills: casual, professional, written, spoken, all inside conversations that felt alive. What none of them knew yet was that these skills were about to pull them into the same room for the first time. A month later, Alex received an email from his manager with the subject line, "International Project Kickoff, Invitation." It was for a new global marketing campaign, and the team would be drawn from offices in the UK, India, and the USA. There would be weekly video calls, shared documents, and collaborative brainstorming sessions. Alex felt the usual flicker of anxiety. Working with new people meant new accents, faster conversations, and unfamiliar phrases. But then he remembered something ChatGPT had told him during one of their formal speech practice sessions. Confidence isn't the absence of mistakes, mate. It's the willingness to keep going while making them. In Mumbai, Priya got a similar message from her own company. She'd been assigned to the same campaign, representing the India office. She read the details on her phone while sipping chai on her balcony. The project would start with a joint online workshop, and the list of participants included people from both the UK and USA. Perfect chance to test everything I've been learning, she thought, already planning to warm up with a ChatGPT conversation that evening. Meanwhile, in New York, James got an email from a UK-based marketing agency he'd recently done freelance work for. They were partnering with other international teams and wanted him on board for creative content. The project? The same one Alex and Priya had just agreed to join. The first meeting was set for a Thursday afternoon London time, which meant evening for Priya and morning for James. Alex logged in early, camera on, coffee mug in hand. Priya joined next, her video showing a softly lit room with a bookshelf behind her. James appeared last, wearing headphones and leaning slightly toward the camera like he was ready for a game. They exchanged polite hellos. Then the meeting began. The project lead outlined the campaign goals, but as soon as the floor opened for discussion, the familiar challenges of international work appeared. Overlapping speech, different accents, idioms flying left and right. A colleague from South Africa used the phrase, "cut to the chase," and Priya smiled. She'd learned it during a train role play with ChatGPT. She used it naturally a few minutes later, earning a nod of understanding from the group. Alex, when asked for his opinion, used a smooth transition phrase, building on what James just said, a structure he'd practiced with ChatGPT's formal speaking coach mode. James, who usually kept his ideas short, surprised even himself by giving a longer, more engaging answer, peppered with friendly humor that made people chuckle. The meeting ended with positive energy. None of them mentioned it out loud, but each silently recognized the difference. This was the first time an international call hadn't felt like a linguistic tightrope. Over the next weeks, they worked together more closely. They messaged on the project's chat channel, emailed updates, and swapped ideas during brainstorming sessions. And slowly, hints of their secret began to emerge. Priya once typed in the chat, "BRB, asking my friend to help polish this email," and added a winking emoji. Alex joked in a call, "My British mate says this slogan could be snappier," and no one knew the mate wasn't human. James, when Priya complimented one of his taglines, said, "Thanks, my coach has been drilling me on stuff like this." It didn't take long for the three of them to put the pieces together. During one informal Friday call, the conversation drifted toward how each of them practiced English and communication skills. Alex hesitated, then said, "Okay, confession. I've been talking to ChatGPT like it's a real person." Priya's eyes widened. "Wait, me too. I even give it roles, like my travel buddy." James laughed. "You're kidding. I made mine a sarcastic uncle who roasts my grammar." They all burst into laughter. The kind that comes from realizing you've been part of the same inside joke without knowing it. From then on, their collaboration took on a new dimension. Before big presentations, they'd meet in a private chat room and role-play scenarios, sometimes with ChatGPT joining in as a guest participant. They even shared tips. Alex showed them how to ask for layered feedback, not just corrections, but examples of better phrasing. Priya demonstrated her trick of mixing learning with cultural context, like asking ChatGPT to explain why certain idioms exist. James revealed his game mode, where ChatGPT had to spot mistakes faster than he could fix them. By the end of the project, their communication wasn't just good, it was seamless. The final presentation was scheduled for a live online event with all partner offices attending. The audience would be large and the stakes high. Alex opened the session with confident, natural pacing. Priya followed with a clear, engaging explanation of the campaign's cultural relevance in different markets. James closed with a playful but professional summary that left everyone smiling. When the applause emojis flooded the chat, they exchanged quick glances and grins. They knew exactly who or what had helped them get here. After the call ended, they stayed behind for a few minutes, the virtual room suddenly quiet. Alex said, "You know, if we told people what we'd done, they might actually start talking to ChatGPT differently." Priya nodded. Not just asking questions, actually having conversations. Real ones, James added. The kind that make you forget it's AI at all, until you realize how much better you've gotten. They decided right then to make a pact. Each would share their story publicly, not as a tutorial, but as a narrative now, the way they'd just lived it. Some stories are about tools. This one was about transformation. They had each started with hesitation, tried the normal way, been underwhelmed, and then discovered something simple but powerful. Talk to ChatGPT like it's a person. Give it a role. Give it personality. Let it correct you naturally inside the flow. Because when you do, the conversation stops feeling like practice and starts feeling like life. That's how Alex, Priya, and James turned simple chats into fluent English. I've made a full roadmap so you can do it too, step by step. The PDF is in the description and pinned in the comments. Download it, start today, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more learners around the world can join us.